How do people hold you in their hearts? That's today's question. Hi everyone, I'm Sunny, and today's pick a card is going to be 3 piles you guys can choose from. From left to right, I have pile 1, 2, and 3. So if you need more time to think about the pile and the question, you're more than welcome to pause the video and then select the pile of your choice when you're ready. So I will go ahead and start with the first one while I move. Oops. Let me just move these up, which I kind of hate sometimes that they kind of slide off, but that's okay. So for the first pile, you guys have the 5 of Cups reversed. Next is the Queen of Wands reversed. Why did I stutter? And then you're followed by the 8 of Cups reversed. And then your final card is the 4 of Wands reversed. So how do people hold you in their heart, pile number 1? Okay, for some reason, a lot of it has to do with the fact that you're possibly maybe starting for, I think, something that's interesting, because I'm not sure how, so I don't know if you're specifically channeling several people in mind, or it's just a general message. And I think maybe because you might, I don't know if you overshare or undershare things, but people can pick up. But more or less the vibe that I'm getting here is that there's a struggle between finding like a balance between what you desire when it comes to like a home life and what you actually have in real life. It's like, it feels to me that you are trying your best to walk away from unfavorable circumstances. Maybe it's because, you know, you're living with people, like with the 8 of Cups, it's like maybe you could be living with people that are toxic. Maybe your family that you come from isn't as open with you when it comes to things that you want to do, or maybe it's because you don't feel secure. Like maybe you just can't talk to them because they're old school. Sometimes it can be like that, where it's like suck it up kind of energy. And that can be, it's not necessarily the most harmful things, but it's not necessarily that it's helping you in any way. It's more detrimental to you, right? And your mental health or emotional space. So it can be a little bit annoying, because it's like you're not helping, and you're not helping yourself by avoiding talking about your emotions, because you're just repressing stuff. So repressing stuff doesn't always mean it's good, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing this on purpose, but sometimes you have to keep yourself hidden or away from people with your emotional space, because they don't want to hear it, or they don't give you the best advice, or they're judgy, you know. Sorry, ignore the the sound. So I do think overall that maybe you really do try your best to kind of walk away from these circumstances that feel like, well, it feels like I'm just struggling. Like I really try my best to find that balance of like working hard to find a more stable environment, but I'm not receiving it, and it's elongated. It's elongated in time. When it comes to like the desired time you want to move out from this like 4 of Wands reversed, right? So it feels like you might have struggled to get there, or you're struggling and you're finally getting to that with the 5 of Cups reversed. But it was something like you were crying over spilled milk, you were crying over the fact that you really wanted to make it work, but it was just not working. Or you really wanted to have that home family balance, like being able to work out, being able to work and being able to have family like over, spending time with them and spending time with the people that you love, but it was just not happening. Or maybe it was the fact that you had like what's it called, duties, like taking care of somebody else, and it was just draining you. And it was not a toxic environment, but it was just very mentally draining for you, because it's like if you're working in your home space, it can be a lot, right? With this 4 of Wands, where it's like a fiery energy too. So it's just like a lot of stuff is like, the home doesn't feel calm anymore. It feels very aggressive or upsetting, or it feels very unstable or chaotic. Chaotic is the proper word I'm trying to find. So it feels chaotic. It feels like you're trying your best, and you've been doing this for a long time with the Queen of Wands too. It's like you don't even feel like you're the queen of this environment. It doesn't feel like there's fire and water. It feels like you're hot and cold. Honestly, you're yes and you're no, you're in and you're out. It feels like it's like that, where it's like, it's not that you're purposely being moody or like indecisive or erratic, but it's like your emotions are not quite stable when you don't have a stable environment. So if you're not feeling home and comfortable and like in the space that you have, um, you're just not gonna you're just not gonna thrive the way you'd like to, right? So the way people hold you in their hearts, it's like you're someone that's trying to do better for themselves and trying to do more, but unfortunately the circumstances you were given for quite some long time, your obstacles, right? Maybe you have Saturn in Cancer or something, but right, it's one of those transits where it's like I really have to find that balance of like trying to get myself afloat or trying to find a better environment where I can feel more stable and confident, right? So maybe you're finally able to move to a different place, or even like sometimes it's not always people, it's sometimes environment or circumstances, like having water damage and you're like, it's so messy and I'm so sick all the time. It's like, ugh. But you're struggling, right, to clean the area, or struggling to maintain it because this is what all you can afford in the meantime, and you're taking some time to like recoup and stuff, but that's still draining you. So it's like finally you're getting out of this rut, or that's how people see you. It's like you are thriving, or you're about to start embarking on a new environment where you're going to feel more comfortable, you're going to feel more at home and at peace, and that's how you're going to feel like you're the Queen of Wands upright. It feels like there's a lot of internal struggles here with all these reversals, so it feels like you're going to be able to at some point, put these upright and feel that you're progressing. Maybe at this point you were stalling, but you're finally starting new. Like I think the Five of Cups is a very good sign that it's reversed, because you're finally moving on from a lot of these unfortunate circumstances, that you're no longer like trying to make it work where it was toxically not working, or you're not trying to make it work where it's like there's nothing else you can do here. Like you've outgrown this place, you've outgrown the people you're around, so you're outgrowing that home environment to be in a different, better home environment where you can be your Queen of Wands sitting down. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was a very different message than I expected, but the people around you hold you close to their hearts in that regard, where it's like you are really someone that has so much to offer in that home environment, and you have so much, like, people just like deserve, not people deserve, people want you to deserve. Am I saying that right? People want you to deserve. People think you deserve. I'm gonna say that. People think you deserve to feel safe and comfortable and well rested in a much better place than what you are at right now. Maybe this could be from separation of people, like a partner not making you feel comfortable because you guys are always arguing, or it's like you guys are struggling to make ends meet. Like it could be many reasons, but the point is you're finally getting out. So thank you, pile number 1. Oops. Next I have pile number 2. You guys have King of Swords upright, Page of Wands reversed, the Nine of Swords reversed, upright, and your final card is the Magician upright. So how do people hold you in their heart? Pile number 2. My nose. Okay, I didn't want to sneeze, I'm sorry. Water break. So, okay, pile number 2. People think that for some reason, I think that people want to point out overall that you've changed when it comes to how you let people in. For example, if you are going through struggles, or you're likely coming about, it just feels like you're in this energy of like, you're not in the best space in this moment, mentally. Or you're keeping a lot to yourself because you're feeling burdened by a lot of the things that cause you anxiety, because you feel like you're not thinking clearly when it comes to solutions to your problems, because you feel like you're short on time. It feels like, I need to make quick decisions because of like financial circumstances, or like quick decisions because of health reasons, or quick decisions because it applies to other people that they need help, right? So it feels like you're carrying a lot of mental burdens that you're possibly not sharing with others, and you're keeping to yourself, and that's making you struggle to sleep at night. Well, like you're giving yourself anxiety, like your nerves are like, ugh. With this King of Swords too, it feels like you're just like with this combination of cards, I feel like you're on edge. You can be a little testy when it comes to how people approach you. So if people approach you to talk to you, whether it's good or bad, you're like, it's not that you might take it bad, but your nerves are not helping you out so much that you feel like you're stressed out, so you might lash out at people and cut them down. And they can see you as someone to be a force to be reckoned with, but because you don't feel like you have things in control, it feels like you're not super out of control, but it feels like because you don't have a handle of things, it's just giving you a lot of anxiety, and it's like, I don't want to say it makes you jittery, but you're a little like edgy. It's just edgy, testy. It's just like your energy, especially this Page of Wands to reverse. You don't feel as how can I say, easygoing. you don't feel as like lighthearted when it comes to. I feel like you're someone that could be really good jokester and stuff, but it feels like you're just not in this energy. It feels like you're struggling to find humor in things because you're being a little. So that's how people hold you in their heart in this moment, where they love you, they care about you, or they respect you, but they know that like there's boundaries here. You put up a lot of boundaries of like, don't test me right now. I'm not in a good mood, not in a good space. I'm feeling overwhelmed. This Magician upright too, I feel that you are trying to make things work, maybe trying to end cycles, but it just feels like you're a little testy in here. You might have your reasons. I don't feel necessarily that they would last for a long time. I do think you're good at speeding things up, but when it hits you, and I think it's one of those lows in this moment for you, pile number 2, that you're trying to make best with what you have, but it's not fun. It's not a fun ride. So overall, they do see you as someone that can wield the sword properly with this King of Swords, but you're standing your ground. I think you could possibly be a little bit, what's the proper word? I'm trying to find the proper word where you're trying to not, I just had it at the tip of my tongue. What was it? It just feels like the King of Swords is like someone who has it together, who's determined to make things work, but it's like, it's giving me a little bit stubborn, or it gives me maybe a little bit more. I guess you're trying to manipulate the situations to your advantage, but God, is it helping you? Like, I feel like you're struggling. It's like I'm pushing against like the obstacles, and it's just, I feel like you're trying to find an easier way to actually go through with these, but I feel like you'll manage something with the Magician because you're trying to find like something. There's got to be something in there that you're finding things easier to manage, and I do think you'll find the answer, and like you're capable of that. You're incredibly smart and agile when it comes to your mind, so you'll come up with an answer in no time, but you just have to get out of this mental space and rut. And people see that the potential for you to not like more progressive, but like more productive by being thinking of stuff outside of the box. There you go. Finding out of the box solutions for whatever it may be. So that's where people hold you into your, wait, I worded that terribly. That's how people hold you in their hearts, right? I can't think of, I'm not saying things properly, but somehow I feel like it's like a tongue twister in here. For some reason, I think pile number 2 is like going like a million miles. Like, how does it go? How does it even go? It's going like a million miles per second, right? And you're like getting stuck because you're thinking like so fast. You're not stopping to think about things carefully when you already know what to do. It's like you're stumbling upon yourself. Maybe it's because of Mercury retrograde that you can have that, experiencing that in this moment. I'm not experiencing that, by the way. But for some reason, I feel like pile number 2 is just making me like go fast, just get it over with. I already know the message. Like, that's what it gives me. Compared to pile number 1, very, very different. I do think there's a lot of air and fire qualities that are important to you in this moment, but that's what I'm getting with this one, and that's how people hold you in their heart. Pile number 2, you're someone that is trying to be quick and fast, but sometimes being quick and fast might not always give you the best results, because you're not taking your time to consider things and outcomes, for example, the way you should, because I think you're someone that's very knowledgeable and for some reason you're skipping steps. It feels like that, where it's like you're trying to find shortcuts when those shortcuts, when those shortcuts, I can't say it, when those shortcuts are leading you to just disappointment and like anxiety and like more things that you should consider, like of the problems themselves, like little details you're like skipping, like, oh, I didn't think about this, now I have to think about this. It feels like that frustration. There's a lot of pent-up frustration because you just don't have a hold on things the way you'd like to, and you always do. So it could be that. It could also be that you don't feel like you're having a good time because of that, like because you have responsibilities, like possibly more than usual, and you're just like, oh, this is SHITTY, right? It could be one of those moments where you're like, I want to and I know I can, but I can't at this moment. It's just one of those lows, maybe. So thank you, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed your message. Only take what resonates, by the way. So pile number 3, you guys have sorry. My voice is cracking already. Knight of Wands upright. Reversed. I'm sorry. Reversed. 10 of Cups upright. Wait, 10. Wait, 10. Why did I say 10? 9. I'm sorry. 9 of Cups. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm so anxious from pile number 2. It's like so nervous. Judgment upright. I don't know why, with this second pile, it was just like, I'm sorry. I feel like I have to apologize for pile number 2. And your last card is the 10 of Swords upright. There you go. Ta-da-ta-ta. Okay, so let me take a sip of water. Okay, pile number 3. How do people hold you in their heart? I think with this pile, it's interesting how some dynamics between the piles kind of, I don't know if it's overlapping or kind of connect. I don't know which one would be proper, but there's a connection between certain themes. But like, for example, with this pile, I feel that you're trying to make something that you really wish for or desire, like you really need in your life, come true. And I don't know if it's like a double-edged sword when it comes to things like in these aspects of like you're trying to really make it work, but either you're feeling disappointed, or I feel it has to do more with people with this pile, where it's like the Judgment card upright is great, but next to the 10 of Swords, I feel that the connection there is like you want the appraisal, or you're feeling like you're being liked and stuff, but it feels like it's like you might also include people that might not wish the best for you, and you kind of have a hard time distinguishing who's in it for the right reasons and who's in it for the wrong reasons. And you could usually have a good eye when it comes to this, but for some reason in this moment it's testing you, right? It's one of those things where it's like, I can't tell who's like really like likes me for who I am, or just likes me because I'm giving them what they want, right? Giving the public what they want. So it feels like maybe you're burdened by a friendship. Maybe it could be friendships or people that are surrounding you, and it's like, oh, I feel like I've been backstabbed, or I feel like they're just like not stabbing me in the back literally, but it feels like they're talking like about me, or they're being gossipy. It feels like that, where it's like you feel like there's appraisal, but the appraisal comes with gossip too, good and bad. It feels like you can't get, for some reason right now, you can't get one without the other, and that might not be something that you kind of foresaw coming, because you thought you were gonna feel a certain way about like, example, let's say you really desired a home, you got the home, but people are like, oh wow, like congratulations, right? And you're getting the likes like on Instagram or Facebook, and for some reason they sometimes the comments can be like, oh, that would look great with this color, or like, oh, nice, but like, or you can kind of hear it from friend of a friend, like, oh, they like the fact that you got a home, but they hate your taste. Like, oh, they thought like, oh, why did you build like, why did you build that kitchen sink, or I don't know, why did you get that tile on the floor? It's terrible. Like that's just gonna get like, it's gonna get like, I don't know, I want to say grout, but they didn't put the grout right, for example, and now it's gonna, you know, get moldy and dirty and you have to clean it more. Like they have these 2 cents and they're like, oh, it's so ugly, she's so dumb, or he's so dumb, like that's just a waste of money. It's like that, where it's like they like you and the idea that you've done a lot for yourself, but somehow it's like they're also bad mouthing you. They're also like telling you stuff, and they might not even tell you in your face. They can be two-faced. I feel like you're probably surrounded by a few snakes here and there. Not many, to be honest, but I do think that those comments can be hurtful because they eventually go back to you. Where at least you're finding out, unfortunately, like that what you thought was like gonna be good, it's like not that great. Possibly from people that you actually wanted them to like what you've been doing, what who you are, what you're involved in, and it's like a wish was granted, but the wish was not making you feel that great. Maybe you should have possibly kept it to only the people that you hold near and dear to your heart, or you know, the people that actually love you and cherish you no matter who you are and what you do. Like, you know, it's one of those things. It's like maybe not everybody needed to know about your accomplishments, stuff like that. With this Knight of Wands to reverse, it feels like whether it's one particular person, like maybe it's you or somebody else, but it feels like somebody here is feeling a little short on words. And it could be possibly you, where you're like, I just want to get snippy with people but I can't. Maybe because they're like relatives, for example. It's like, oh, I can't get snippy with them, they're older. Or I can't get snippy with these people because they don't know me like that. I can't get snippy because they're my coworkers and I work with them. It's like it feels like you wish to say more, but you just can't. It feels like there's a lot of repressed anger, because and it's not even anger like rage. It's more like, oh, I just want to give people a piece of my mind, but I don't feel that great right now because like I'm so exhausted and tired. I've been working on like all these things, and I'm just trying to recoup right now and just take a breather. But I know that at any moment in time I could take them on and put them in their place, but I just can't in this moment. And that might be a little bit triggering for you in this moment, because you know you have the stamina to like put people in their place. You know you have the stamina to show them their fiery temper, those fiery words, but somehow you're like, oh, I can't. I'm so tired, or I'm sick, or something's kind of gotten you to be a little bit more like at peace, like not peace, but like a moment where you kind of need to have your own peace, or you're just kind of like, I'm just gonna isolate myself in my house and just, just watch movies for a bit and just like take care of myself and just nap, so it feels like that, where you're taking a breather, but this is happening, and you're just like, oh, I just can't wait. I can't wait to put like Cindy Lou in her place. It's the first name I thought of. Poor little Cindy Lou from The Grinch. She's so cute, but I just thought of Cindy Lou. But yeah, it could be one of those scenarios where it's like, oh, I just can't, like, or sometimes like you have a little bit like, sorry, I just want to sneeze. Oh, sorry. So it could be one of those moments where you're biting your tongue because you'll get your chance, right? But it could also be like you're kind of taking a step back because it's like you're trying to be the better person, you're trying to be the bigger person, not like be so reactive, and not taking into consideration that not all comments are going to be good for you, but you're only taking in what actually is helping you, which are the good stuff. So at some point, you just need to get rid of the people that are gossiping and just pretend you're not ignoring them. It's like, be the fire sign that you can be with this like Knight of Wands, and be like, well, I don't give up. You know, you can go F yourself, basically. And like, you know, it could be very much like that, where it's like, you'll have your moment, you'll have your chance, but you're gonna have to learn that all these people are draining you. They're just vultures. And it could be one of those moments where it's like, sharing less is better, maybe, because these people just want to like tear you apart, in that sense of like, because of jealousy, possibly envy. It's mostly like that, because of this wish granted. You're getting stuff that you really want, and you're being like, it's like the boasting about it kind of triggers them, you know. It's one of those things. So just relax. Pile number 3, things always occur like this, but just take it with a grain of salt, and F those people if that's the case. But you are being praised for stuff that you have, like, good for you. You're doing something that's good, if it's causing this much commotion and reactions out of people. But it's just weeding out the people that are, you know, snakes, you know, people particularly bad mouthing you. So thank you, pile number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Very different style of reading. I thought it was gonna be more sweet. Guess not. But I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. So thank you all for listening to the very end if you did. And I hope you have a great day. Have a lovely day. And please subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow. And like, please. It helps. So thank you, and bye-bye.